What's up, guys? Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com. Today we're going to be talking about the real reason why your calves aren't growing, or just a lagging body part in general. So first off, genetic muscle inserts. Everyone has, in that particular muscle group, a shape or an insertion, and it's the way your muscle is formed. At the end of the day, genetics dictate largely what kind of potential that specific muscle group has. So if you have like a really, flat bicep peak, and you can get as big as you want, you're not going to just like create a peak, for example. You can get a bigger version of that arm, of that insert that you have in that arm, but at the end of the day, the shape of it will always remain the same. You can't just build, like a full 3D Phil Heath arm if you don't have that muscle insert. So as far as calves, the reason I use that as an example is that is a very, very common muscle group for guys to be like lagging on and say, oh, I can't build them, I can't do this, I can't do that. And first of all, genetic inserts play a huge role in, the end result, if you have good calves or not. There's lots of guys with, I'm sure you've seen random guys with really good calves, and if you ever ask them what they do for calves, it's probably no different than what you do. So as far as the other thing in regards to this video that needs to be talked about, obviously genetics play a big role, but in addition to that, there are guys that, when you have a lagging body part, ideally you want to, train it more frequently, hit it more to, take it out of the comfort zone and get some growth in it, because it takes a bit more work to bring up a lagging body part than one you're genetically blessed in, obviously. So you have some guys, just taking calves as an example, they're training their calves like 2 to 3 times a week, yet they're still not, making any progress. And then you wonder why. But at the end, when you actually look at what they're eating on a day-to-day basis, they're not actually eating in a surplus. So they're basically hammering away at the weights, but then they're not providing the fuel necessary to rebuild and, build that tissue to actually get the bigger calf. So these guys are pounding away at the gym week after week, hitting calves 2 to 3 times. They're actually like training hard, and they would be getting results if they were eating enough. But if you're not eating in a surplus, you're not going to gain weight. And if you're not gaining weight, you're not physically putting size onto anything. So it's not going to equate to size just training that muscle group 2 to 3 times a week. You need to like physically gain size via putting on new weight. So a lot of guys, they don't realize this, and they'll, they have lagging arms or whatever, so they go hit a high rep arm session, focus on hypertrophy once a week. They hit a heavy session with lower volume, lower reps, high weights with compound movements thrown in there like once a week, and then they do like accessory movements on their back day and their chest day, and they're still not growing. But then at the end of the day, you look year after year, they look exactly the same. They haven't fluctuated in weight whatsoever, and you look at their actual diet, and they're not eating enough food to put on weight, so they stay stagnant. So the takeaway message of this is, first of all, obviously, genetics can suck and genetics can screw you over, but there are ways to bring up lagging groups, and to do that, you have to train, properly. But at the end of the day, if you're not eating enough food, you're not going to put on that weight to actually pack size on that muscle group. So keep that in mind, guys, because I see tons of guys on, not just in real life, like at my own gym or whatever, but, YouTube, fitness, celebrity people and stuff like that. And they're, they vlog their lives, and they, a lot of it, you see their daily workouts, but it's like week after week, month after month, year after year, they look exactly the same. And it's because they're in the gym training so often, but then when it actually comes to, being in the kitchen and getting shit done, none of them eat properly. It's crazy. Like, they'll actually put in that much time in the gym just to not eat properly to recover. So, I don't know. To me, it's kind of baffling how you'll put that much work in the gym, but then just not eat, that extra, meal of chicken and rice, or like that extra shake, or that extra, a few eggs or whatever you need to put you in that surplus to put on size. But it happens so often, and it's so common, so I felt like a video should be made on it. I'm not saying if you do eat, in your surplus and you physically start packing on weight, that you're going to get amazing calves if you have super shitty calves. But you're going to have have a better chance of getting them as maxed out for your, genetic potential as possible, as opposed to the next guy who's hammering away at them, hitting 12 sets of calves a workout, but then he goes home and he still eats his maintenance diet. So anyways, that's the takeaway message. Eating is key. It's the number one thing in terms of dictating if you're going to gain muscle or not how hard you train. Although training is a prerequisite, obviously, the end of the day, diet is king. So take that into mind. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredates.com. Subscribe there. Talk to you guys soon.